Okay, so we're going to attach your pattern paper number 1, the piece that measures 15 centimeters across by 25 centimeters down, and I want to attach that piece 4 centimeters from the top of the page. So I'm just going to make a mark where I know, not where I think, where the pattern paper needs to be. So my little mark is made. Okay, and then I'm going to put tape around the edges, because I can always pull those little pieces off afterwards, and then I'm just going to add some glue to the middle. So once I have everything in place and I want to get this stuck down, I can then just use pull the tape off after the fact. Okay, yeah, down the edge, just making sure, because I will put glue down the middle. Just making sure that I'm putting tape at the top, what would be the left and the bottom of the page. I can always pull these off once my paper is in place. Oops. Right. So then I'm just going to run some glue down the middle of the page like that, because now I have enough tuck, and then just a little bit here, just to kind of basically tack it in place. When I have everything where I need it to be, then I can pull off my tape. It's easier for me to work this way because I can line my pattern paper up with the center quite nicely, and then with my 4 centimeter mark that I've made. There we go. And remember, hold it in place and burnish, because the glue is, because it gives you time to move and things in place, it doesn't bond immediately. So if you don't hold it in place and you try and burnish your paper into place, it's going to shift. So I always suggest you hold it first and then we can burnish. So I know I've only put glue about over here. And then this gives me the opportunity now to be able to tuck things under. Right, so the next piece that needs to go in is your pattern paper number 2. It is the piece that measures, oops, I think it's, what is it, 7 centimeters across, 20.5 centimeters down. So your pattern paper number 2, and that I'm going to attach approximately 6 centimeters from the top, and I'll tell you now, I'm more or less, and 6 centimeters from the left. I lie. That'll never work. 6 centimeters from the top, and we're going to put it in 9 centimeters from the left. So it's going to go under by about 1 centimeter. So I want it to be more or less like that. It's going to slide under, but to be sure that I get it straight, I'm just going to measure another 9 centimeters from the left, and that's where that's going to go in like that. Okay, 6 centimeters from the top, 9 centimeters from the left. So it's going to slide in about 0.5 centimeter. Okay, I'm just going to put some glue down the middle here. Let me get another one. So just a little bit of glue, because I know I want to tuck things in underneath. Okay. There's my 9 centimeters, there's my 6 centimeters. I can tuck that in comfortably. Make sure that I've got it straight. There we go, hold it in place and burnish. Just give it a bit of time to bond. Right, and then I'm going to attach my pattern paper number 3, the piece that measures 10 centimeters across, 11 centimeters down. Okay, that one is going to go over here somewhere, and I'm going to attach this one 12 centimeters from the top and flush against this piece of pattern like that. Okay, so here we go, here's my 12, and There's the other 12. Okay, so I've got it, I can get it in pretty straight like that. And again, I know we're going to have things tucking underneath here and here, but I do want it to be, once I'm done, to stick down. So I'm just going to put some tape on the side that I can pull off when I'm done. And then just a little bit of glue down the middle. And a little bit on the side here. Okay, then I'm going to find my 12 centimeter mark again, which is about over there. And I'm going to attach this like that. Flush against pattern paper number 1, 12 centimeters from the top of the page. Like that. Hold it in place and give it a little burnish. And then I'm still able to lift and tuck things underneath as I want it to be. When I'm done, I can pull this off and this will secure everything in place. Right, so that's the one side done with the base. I'm going to do the other side quickly. Just going to get the basics in place, and then we can start to put things, tuck things under where we think they need to be. Right, so I'm going to line my page up at the bottom, and then this one's going to go over here. Right, so I'm just going to get that first one in place. Remember, it is 4 centimeters from the top of the page. And it is going to be flush against the center, and I only have the border that's going to tuck underneath here and a little bit of piece of paper. So I am going to put some tape down the side here and glue down the middle. And this, just going to put a little bit of glue down the middle here. So that I think I got too far up, so that I have enough space to be able to tuck things under. And I know nothing's going in over here underneath, so I can put some glue on the end like that. Okay, so I'm going to attach this one 4 centimeters from the top of the page and flush against the center. Easier this way. So there's my 4. I'm going to attach that flush against the center like that. And before I burnish it in place, just double check that I've got it straight with the other side. I'm going to make sure it lines up at the bottom, and my pattern papers line up nicely, and then we can just burnish that in place. Oh, I gave you the wrong, this is pattern paper number 3 and pattern paper number 4. This is your pattern paper number 2, sorry, my mistake. So this is pattern paper 1, 3 and 4, and we are going to attach pattern paper number 2 now. So same thing, I'm just going to use some tape. And pull the tape down the center here. I can, like I say, we can pull it off afterwards. And I'm going to put some on the side. And then just some glue in the middle and of the pattern. I can even just put a piece of tape down the middle like this. This will be fine. And I don't have to put some glue. I think I don't really need time. I use the glue so I have wiggle room, but I think I've got this pretty straight, so I'm not going to worry too much. I don't think I need that opportunity to wiggle. I think lining it up flush against this side and flush against here will be fine. I can stick it down straight away like that. That's perfect. Then I have my spacey to be able to slide things under as we go. Alright, so pattern paper number 3, not number 2, is going to go over here. And I'm thinking to attach this one about 5 centimeters from the top of the page. Yep, it's going to look right. So that one's going to go 5 centimeters from the top of the page. And I think that it should be flush against your pattern paper number 2. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to use some tape just down the middle. Like that. And put this my 5 centimeters from the top. So 5 centimeters from the top, flush against your pattern paper number 2. So pattern paper number 2 and 3 bump up nicely against each other. Right, so the next piece that needs to be attached is this piece that I originally said we needed to cut to 6 centimeters by 12. But because of the way I've put the tape, I can't get this to shift under far enough. So I'm just going to cut off a centimeter off here. It'll just make it easier for me to be able to slide it under and get the layering effect that I want to. So if you haven't put tape on like I have down the middle, if you've just put a little bit of glue, which I should have done, just put some tape down the edge here, you would be able to slide your little piece in quite comfortably. I need to make a plan to fix my boo-boo. I'm talking too much and not paying any attention to what I'm doing. So then this can then slide in far enough for me to be able to get that nice border of the diagonal sticking out. I want like about a 1 centimeter border of it to stick out like that. So what I'm going to do is just attach my these two together. So I'm just going to make a mark where I think I want the pattern paper number 2 to attach. I mean, you don't have to do it this way. You can do it your own way, but I like to work like this. Okay, so I'm just going to put a little bit of glue over here. I think I've grabbed the wrong glue again. So kind of along the border of where I know that where I've made my pencil marks. And then I'm going to attach, that's what's going under. I'm going to attach this, I'm just going to lift a little bit of this up. I'm going to attach that like that. So 1 centimeter from the bottom, 1 centimeter from the right. Take that up a little bit more. So that is stuck down nicely now. There we go. Alright, so now when I want to put it into position, I don't have to deal with 2 pieces. I can just deal with the one. And I'm going to attach this piece, let's see, I think it's 2 centimeters, yeah. 2 centimeters from the side of the page and 14 centimeters from the top of the page. So that's where that's going to go. I'm not going to, I know that I want to still tuck things in, so I'm just going to put some glue on the middle here. There's nothing tucking in from the top. And this is going underneath, so that's fine. I'll take that piece of tape off. and then just attach this now, my 14 centimeters from the top and 2 centimeters from the right. I'm working to this piece here. Okay, I'm just going to double check that I've got it in, oops, 2 centimeters. Nope. Okay, I'm just going to get a little bit straighter. And there we go. Looks a little bit better. There. Okay, so that's in nicely. I think that mine slipped in just a little bit more than 2. I think it's gone in by 2.5, but yeah, it's fine. I'm not going to pull it out. To me, it looks fine. All right, and then, like I said, I want to have the same little piece at the top here, and again I want about about a centimeter of it sticking out. So let's see, I put the tape down too far. I know that it's going to stick out about there. I'm just going to trim a little bit of it off at the bottom here, just helps with the bulk. So this is going to go slightly down from this paper and tuck under there. So I'm going to cut it off about over there, just over here. Just helps with the bulk a little bit. And that is then going to slide in under here. I'm just going to lift it up. It's not going to fit, so I'm just going to cut this little piece out here because of the tape, and there we go, problem solved. So just remember that instead of pulling on your paper and lifting and trying to get you can just cut a little piece out and it goes around the tape that I had there. So again, I wanted about 1 centimeter all the way around like that. Just offsets this nicely like that. Maybe go just a slightly bit higher because this is going to go in over here, and I want it to go slightly behind this one. So there, that looks about right. Means I can take it out of there. Okay, so I'm just going to make a mark where I want this to be, like that. And I'm going to put glue just in the middle here. Like that. And we can then slide this back in. I have my markings where I want it to be, so I don't have to measure again. And remember that little bit of green that's sticking out, we will be hiding that when we put the butterfly there. So just a quick look where we're at. So there we go. This is where we are so far. So the next pieces I want to add in, I want to finish adding in is this line paper that I'm going to, or journal paper card, that's going to go under here. It's just going to bring everything down a little bit. I'm going to find it's the other piece. I keep losing these pieces. There we go. So this has a frame here and a little bit of distressed here. So I want to use this piece at the top here, so that I've got frame going all the way around, and then this piece here at the bottom where I have the frame. So that is also going to slide in under here. I'm just going to cut it slightly shorter. I'm going to cut it to about there. And then that is going to slide in under here like that. It'll be about 1/2 centimeter away from the bottom. And I can tell you that from the side, you're looking at about, let's make it 4.5 from the side. Yeah. Okay. So again, I'm just going to make a mark with my pencil. So about 1/2 centimeter from the bottom, 4.5 centimeters from the right. And we can put some glue on this. tuck that in. And there we go. That's going to look quite nice. Now for the top. The top is a little bit different, okay, because I want to have this little sentiment running behind. I want the inside and out to stick out like that, but I also want to tuck in slightly underneath this one, and then to just tie it all together, I have this piece that's going to go in the top here like that, and I'll also be cutting a little bit of it off just so that it tucks in a little bit better. Right, so about halfway, and cut a little piece off. Right, and then I want more of it on this side and less of it this side, so I'm going to measure that quickly. So I'm going to cut it at 3 centimeters. I'm going to cut, and that 3 centimeter I'm going to attach to the one side of the page, and draw a line, and attach the other piece to the left side of the page. Okay. I'm not very good about sticking it and then taking my craft knife and cutting it in half. I end up cutting the white paper. It's just what happens. So for me, it's easier to rather just cut it with a pair of scissors and then line it up with that center myself. So I think that's more or less where it's going to go. Let's see where the inside and out will be. Yeah, perfect. Come down a little bit. And if you need a measurement, so it's flush against the center, and I'd say about 2 centimeters from the top of the page. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to attach its little buddy onto the other side. Okay, so the work has already been done for me. I just have to get it flush against the center like that, and line it up with its friend on the right. And there we go. So just remember to hold it in place before you burnish so that it doesn't shift. And then we want this one to go in, like I said, I want it to go behind here like that. And I want the "You Are Beautiful" inside and out to show. I think that will look good. So that's about it. Well, I can't tell you 2 centimeters, 1 centimeter. You want to be sure that you can see the sentiment. So that's going to go about over there. And I think we bring it over to about there. Looks good. Let me see. I know that I wanted about 2 of these to stick out. So if I have that in place, that'll be my lining up to be sure I've got it in the right place. Yep, perfect. So I will, if you want to know from the left of the page, you can attach this, if you're using the same as what I am, you can attach it approximately 12.5 centimeters from the left of the page. So I'm just going to put some glue behind this. And slide that in. Remember, I want it to go behind. I want the paper to be let it go underneath this piece a little bit. And double check that I got it in the right spot. Just shift it over slightly, and there we go. So there's your 12.5 centimeters from the left, all tucked in nicely. Okay. So I think I've got most of the tucking and the bits and pieces that need to go in where they need, where, you know, so that I prefer to do it first because you can see already I forgot over here and had to make a new little plan and everything like that. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is attach my photos. So I know I want one that's going landscape and then the two portraits like that. Okay, I want to attach the photos quite a little bit lower than I normally would. I mean, it would make sense for them to be right at the top here, but I kind of want them to come down a little bit because I have little things I want to add. I'm going to add the border. I'll add that in a bit. I just want to get my photos in. Okay, so remember we want to slide things under this photo. So I'm going to put some tape at the top here and a little bit of tape in the middle, but nothing at the bottom. So I'll put a little bit of tape here. And then I'm going to run some tape across the top like that. Right. And the other two photos, I'm just going to use glue to attach them because there is nothing that is going to tuck under them, so nothing to think about over there. My plan is to attach my photographs approximately 7 centimeters from the very top of the page. So I am going to attach the landscape one first, and then I'll attach the portraits. Once the photos are in place, it makes the rest of the embellishing much easier. So again, it's easier for me to hold it like this, and I'm going to remove the tape backing from my photo mats. And attach this in place. Right, I'm going to attach, I like to attach my photos about 1 to 2 mils away from the center, and I'm just going to line it up nicely with my 7 centimeter mark. And because I don't have glue, I need to be sure that I'm putting it in the right spot before I drop it in place. Right, so I can add the other 2 photo mats. Seven centimeters from the top of the page. There we go. And with these ones, I'm just going to use glue to attach them. Because, like I said, there is nothing that needs to tuck under or be made, remember to put things. I think I made life a little bit difficult for myself with all the little layering and tucking in, but it's going to be worth it in the end. And always in theory, it looks perfect. It looks like it's going to work, and then you start sticking and things just go haywire. But we can always make a plan, like I showed you with this little piece here. Just cut out what doesn't fit. Nobody's going to see it. Okay. So I'm going to get this other one in place. 7 centimeters from the top. And about 2 mils away from each other. And before I burnish them 100% in place, I'm just going to line it up with the left side of the page. Make sure that everything lines up straight before I start and have to pull off. There we go, that looks pretty straight. And it lines up nicely on the top there. This one already moved, so there we go. Hold it in place and burnish. Right, there we go. So now, before I add my embellishments, I'm going to add my little scalloped borders because I think that they need to go in before we can start with the rest of everything. So like I said, I wanted to add this one in over here. Right, I think it's supposed to go behind here, but it's fine. There's a little butterfly that's going to hide it. And I want it to go in low. So this has got to go to there like that. I'm just going to trim off this one little scallop. I don't need it. Okay. And this is going to then go in over here. Nice and low. I don't want too much of it sticking out. And there's my mark. I'm going to trim it. Can I see it? Yeah. Before I stick it. So I want to get it pretty straight before it goes in. I'm going to use my pencil to draw a line. And I will line that piece up with the center of the page. Let's cut that there. I say, if you are brave and you don't mess it up like I do, you can stick your pages together, do what you need to do, and trim them apart when you're done. So that's going to go flush against the center like that and push down. Okay. I keep grabbing the wrong glue. There we go. Right, so we're going to add this tiny little piece of the scalloped border. This goes in under here and flush against this piece. There we go. And like I say, I just want a little bit of the scallop to stick out. I don't want a big piece to show. So it's like a hint of a scalloped border. Line it up. And I know that I want this to only go as far as this pattern paper number 3. Oop, I like pattern paper number 2. Don't know what I was thinking. So that also lines up flush against the center, and then you can just move it to have just a little bit of it sticking out like that. Just lift it up, then I can see if I've got it straight. The last thing you want is for your scallop border to go in skew. So you want the same amount of scallop to run through all the way. That looks about right. Okay, we can stick that down. Then I want my, I know it probably is not going to make any sense now, but it will. I want this to be the same, so I want my scalloped border to be the same height this side. So when it goes in here and I slide it over, this is where the washi tape will come into play to help. There's no lift here. There we go. Cut a little piece off because I don't want to fit. Really fighting with my page today. Right, so we want it to run more or less in line like that. I know more of it's going to stick out than what it should, but when we run the tape across here, because I'm not going to put it everywhere, if we put a little piece of washi tape over it like this, only a little bit of it's going to stick out, okay? So I know it's going to look a little bit odd for the moment, but we will fix that. Right, so I want my, I'm just going to use my ruler so that I can get the same height running across. And then going to slide this little piece in. Make sure that it lines up with the side of my page over there, and that it is in line like that. Right. Because I would still like to create the illusion of a straight line across here. And then this piece of washi tape, it's already nice and straight over there. I'm going to have the washi tape run slightly I think it goes flush against my pattern paper. Just going to double check that. You can use your ruler so that you get the washi in the right place, because you want the same amount of scallop to stick out as what's over there. I've pulled off an extra piece of I've made sure that my washi tape is a little bit longer than what I need. I'm going to line it up at the bottom, line it up over here, and apply my washi tape slightly over the pattern and flush against my ruler. I'll put it in like that. Still move it over slightly. I'll double check. Here we go. And then I'm just going to put this little piece underneath here. There we go. So that now gives the illusion that it's the same amount sticking out and that it's pretty straight. So when I do my lines now, this will tie it all in really nicely. And if you haven't got it 100% straight, once we have the embellishments in place, you won't even really notice it. But that, for me, I need it to be straight. So now we're going to do something similar here at the bottom. Okay, so next up is to add my little scallop border to the bottom of the page. I'm going to put it in so that it's more or less, it looks like it's more or less in line. And then I'm just going to bring a little bit of washi over onto this side. So that looks quite, it may not be 100% straight, but it will give the illusion that it is. I'm going to add some glue and just stick this in place, and then just bring in a little piece of washi tape over here. Okay, so we're just going to slide this in under here. I have it laying flush against this diagonal piece of pattern paper. I'm going to do the same here. Oops, I caught one of my embellishments. So this one is also going to tuck under. It's flush against the pattern paper and flush against the side like that. And I'm just going to bring in a little bit of that washi tape. If I can find it, there we go. I want it to be pretty straight. So I've cut it slightly bigger than what I think I'm going to need. And I want it to run under this one. I don't want it to go over. So I'm going to line it up so that it covers half the pattern, or maybe I should have it cover. Okay, yeah. Let's do that. I'm going to lay the washi tape flush against the pattern paper. Like that, so that we can carry on with the theme of just having a little bit of the scallop stick out, and then the balance of it can go under. Not too much of it. Let's take a little piece off like that. There we go. And I think I've got it to go skew, so I'm just going to put it on a little bit straighter. You want it flush against that pattern paper, so you don't want anything sticking out. And there we go, that's better. And then I'm just going to add a little piece of that washi tape. I'm going to bring it over to this side. Again, line it up nice and straight with the edge. I'm going to keep it flush against the pattern paper, so that we, like I said, we stay with the theme of only a little bit of the scallop sticking out and not a deep scallop. That'll go under there like that. Okay, so there we go. That's the background in place. I'm going to just put a little bit of glue here so I can stick this down. There we go. So that's pretty much everything that's going to tuck. I'm going to take my tape off. I can stick this down properly. like that. And then I'm going to take the tape off here and it'll secure everything in place as well. There we go, you can stick that down. And then just a little bit of glue under here. So nothing's going to go lay up in the air. Everything will be stuck down. There we go. Right, I'm happy with that. Right, next we'll be getting the title in place. So remember, I want to use these little cut apart sheets as to get my title going. So I want to stay with that layered effect. So I've got this, I don't want it to line up. So I have this like corner drops down into a little corner. So I think that will look nice over there. There's about 1 centimeter sticking out there and over there. And then this one is going to slide under and then also carry on with that step down like that. And I know that I want the memories to be more or less in the middle here. So we may have to go up slightly and in a little bit more. And then I have the love. I want the love to be on this, to be as much on the ticket as possible, like that. Not too much of this going over my photo, just a little bit like that. Okay, so I'm going to quickly stick that in place. And then I am going to put on some music and finish up with the embellishing and the drawing the lines and all that stuff. Okay, so I'm going to put some glue on here. Remember, I want it to overlap, so I'm not going to put any glue there. I'm just going to put the glue here. And let it slide under my photo very slightly. It's like a little bit. It's about 1 mil that I've got it slide that I've slid it in. And then I'm going to put some glue on this other little cut apart. And remember, I wanted to have a look. I want it to appear as if the ticket is tucked underneath this one, but I know that I need quite a bit of this space for my love. So it's just, again, just a tiny little tuck underneath, maybe 1 mil if that. It just gives the illusion that it's a longer ticket like that. And then to just get it in straight, for me it looks, I can see better if it's straight if I hold my page up in front of me than if I'm working flat. Okay, right, so I'm going to attach the love now. So remember, I wanted it to give the illusion that it's on the ticket. I'll pull it out just a little bit more. There we go. So it looks like it's on that little label. Not a ticket, a label. And I haven't put any glue here because I know my photo is going to slide underneath there. So there we go, I'm happy with that. Then if you recall, I kept the word love these. I'm just going to put a little bit of ink around this. And then I'm going to mat this onto some brown cardstock, which I have kept aside here. So all I'm doing is matting this little word, these, onto the brown cardstock to give it a little border and to make it stand out a little bit more. Otherwise the white would just get lost on this little title that I'm doing. So just a normal little mat all the way around like that. And I want to put this over here. So it says love these, and then the memories is going to go over here. I'm going to tuck it under there like that. And go again. There you go. Move it over slightly so that the hearts go over, And then I'm just going to use the foam squares to keep it in place. And maybe we put these there. No, I like it there. Okay, so I'm going to stick that. Love these memories. I think that looks really awesome. I'm tucking the top, the little tip part of the word memories underneath that heart. I'm making sure that the M and some of the E are on the circle part. I'm keeping it nice and straight and setting it down like that, so that the love and memories kind of stay in place. And then I'll just use some glue to stick down these. So we have love, these, memories. Okay, so that's come out quite nice, I think. I like that effect. There we go. So all that's left to do now is to put the embellishments in place. Now I will be drawing gel lines around just about everything. Once I've put my lines on, I will then start to add my little embellishments. So I'm going to put on some music and I will see you in a bit. And there we go. That's this one done and dusted. Everything where it needs to be. I'm especially thrilled with the butterflies. I think that the overheating of the embossing glaze, it was an awesome discovery. I use this technique often when I do want a more distressed, mottled kind of effect on the elements that I'm using on the page. I think the fossilized amber, the colors that I chose to paint the butterflies with, has really worked well to pick up the colors and the feel of the pattern paper in this collection. I know that we had a little bit of problems with the tucking of getting everything where it needs to be, but I'm glad it didn't run smoothly because I was able to show you how I fix it by cutting little bits out and trimming things off to make them fit comfortably on the page. I hope that you've enjoyed the project, and I look forward to seeing some of your projects posted on Facebook, and look forward to seeing you in the next workshop. Thank you for watching.